Hey folks, Steve here with another unboxing video. I know, just a couple in a row. I must not be that busy of a guy, right? I just got this in the mail, so I figured I would do an unboxing video, though there is a really good unboxing video from the Compass Games folks, I think, or someone affiliated with them. I don't know. If you like my unboxing videos, you can watch this one too. I want to give a little background for this one. So, this is a card-driven game. Covering 1741 to 1748, the War of Austrian Succession, using the No Peace Without Spain system. So this is still in its shrink, and we'll open it up here on video. But real quick, wanted to talk about the other games in the series, which I do own and enjoy. So there was first, and then of course I'm battling my glare, and I just put in new light bulbs, so it's not helping. No Peace Without Spain, which covered the War of Spanish Succession, 1702 to 1713. Game designed by Don Herden, came out some years ago. There's sort of, I think there was either a reprint or a restock, and you can kind of see the map there. It was pretty good, a relatively lightweight card-driven game on the War of Spanish Succession. A lot of fun. Then there came the second game in the series using the system, and that's 9 Years, the War of the Grand Alliance, using No Peace Without Spain system. So this covers 1688 to 1697. So it is a sequel to No Peace Without Spain. Technically, in terms of chronological order, it would be a prequel, and this game actually includes a mechanism by which you can play No Peace Without Spain and 9 Years sort of together as a grand campaign game. You know, I think you use the map from 9 Years and you just play with some of the components of No Peace Without Spain, and as one big campaign game. Both cool, fun games. I did a text review of No Peace Without Spain on Board Game Geek a while back. Really like this one. Have messed with this one. You know, they're basically, very similar, slightly different scenarios, slightly different card events. But both really enjoyable games. So then we get to the Pragmatic War. Now, I probably won't do a real review on this one for a while. That's just sort of the way it's going to go for a little while until I can get more stuff onto the game table. But we'll crack open the shrink and we'll take a look inside and just sort of validate what we get. I've sort of been aware of this game for a long time, back when it was being play tested. I actually got a copy of the play test materials, but I had very limited ability to do play testing, unfortunately, and I kind of feel bad about that, but I feel good because I bought the game, gosh darn it. First thing I'll say is the box actually feels textured a little bit. This is a nicer box than I think some other Compass games that I have, not to criticize past games or anything. Just seems like this box is sturdier, better quality components, so I like that. Good job, Compass Games. Just to show the back real quick, you can see the map looks, similar in aesthetics as the other games in the system, but showing a little bit more of Central Europe here because we are talking the War of Austrian Succession. There's some blurb stuff here. You can see the counters. We're dealing with strength points, leaders with various values. And you can kind of see here basic information, complexity 4 out of 10. Relatively straightforward stuff. Let's take a look into the box itself. So we got our cards. So something I should point out, so you can see this is a 1 card and that's it. So in this game, rather than in some other CDGs, your action cards are only action cards, so you use the points to activate leaders or take specific types of actions, sieges, whatever. There are not event cards in this style, so you don't pick one or the other. It's just the points that you have. Some folks kind of see that as a bummer. It's okay, it's different. But we do have, and you can kind of see that there are, like the edge of the cards is a little bit different, because when we get up to here, there are actually event cards. You can see this is leveled event for the game. These are event cards. These are drawn, I think it's like each player per turn, depending on how the rules are set up in this game. And they will have a variety of effects that will hurt or hinder one of the players or just sort of change the game tempo. So there are events, it's just they're not played the same way as other CDGs. Some event cards just happen, some of them you can hold on to and then play at critical moments. So it keeps your decision making of your point cards to what cards do I have in my hand, what are their point values, how do I use them the best and the most efficient way possible to do what I want to do operationally, right? That's the key here. Some dice, red and blue die, straightforward stuff, okay. Ooh, here's the rule book. Looks like it is full color. I like that. Very nice, very nice. Glossy, but not too glossy, I guess. Looks like there's some good information here, event card explanations, sort of a view of the map, so you can kind of take a look at that instead of staring at the map itself, I suppose. Straightforward 2-column format for the rules. Looks like there's some good examples. Well, maybe not so much examples, but pictures showing various situations that you can see here. Information on the scenarios. I don't know if this game connects to No Peace Without Spain in any way. I don't think so, because there's a big enough time gap. I don't think it makes sense that there is one. So it is more of a self-contained game, I think, until maybe I'll read something later that will throw me for a loop, but I'm pretty sure it is its own game, separate, and it can't be combined. But it looks like this is straightforward stuff. The rules are actually pretty easy to follow. Nothing too crazy here, but the full color rulebook is nice, so there you go. Okay, they gave us baggies. That's nice. I like that. Always good to have baggies. Looks like we're getting into some of the player aid chart stuff. So what I really liked about No Peace Without Spain, and it looks like this is following a very similar format, is that the player aids in No Peace Without Spain were very, very comprehensive. And it looks like this one's pretty much the similar style, so pretty much, I mean, once you read through the rules once, you can almost just play the game looking at these player aid charts. At least that's how it was for No Peace Without Spain. I suspect that everything here is going to be very, very similar. So, like I said, it should be pretty comprehensive. It's going to include all the things that you care about. Sequence of play, battle, sieges. You're going to be doing a lot of that. Action charts telling what actions you can take, interceptions, leader casualties, naval rules, and that's most of the game right there you can get through. Very straightforward. Then we are getting into the counters, and oh my goodness, look at this. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Why am I excited? Look at that. The counters are, oh my god, they're the thick kind that are already rounded. And I know I just kind of, gave crap to Victory Point Games for publishing Thunder in the East and having extra wasted cardboard on the sheets because of the spacing, but I was informed that you need that spacing to do this correctly. But I'm super excited. Look at that. It's the brown, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. It's brown core counters, so nice and thick, and I don't need to round them. So I'll just come out and say that the counter quality here is much better than No Peace Without Spain. No Peace Without Spain, and I believe 9 Years' War as well, have sort of the standard white core counters that you have to, bust from the sheets, and then you've got tufts you have to cut or round the corners of the counters for. This is, boy, that's super cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just very excited. You can see there's not, this is it. I think that's the only two counter sheets. Two counter sheets. You can see forces of the Austrians, the Dutch, Savoy, Britain, down here, Saxony, and then over here we have Prussian. They're all kind of color-coded. French, Spanish, I think that's Bavarian. So it's not super, it's not a huge amount of counters. It's not a super huge game. You don't need to sit there and bust your knuckles through 12 counter sheets. It's just two counter sheets, and I get the feeling like they're gonna just pop right out of here real easy. I'm being careful holding the sheets. So kudos to Compass Games for this. Excellent work, my friends. They're very good. Oh, I'm very excited by that. That's cool. And then the map is mounted, which I'm a little surprised by. I didn't think it was going to be mounted. And it looks like the mounting is the new style of mounted map boards that has come out in the last couple of years, where it is mounted, but the actual mounted board is thinner. This is really important because it saves space in the game box. I'd show you a comparison, but my hands are kind of full at this moment. But you can look at some mounted map boards, and each, the sheet thickness, compared to here, where it's sort of, maybe the thickness of a dollar coin or something like that, where it was like this thick for a mounted map board each fold, right? So it ended up being, I'd say maybe like 25% thicker when you put it in the box, and you would have a hard time fitting some of those mounted maps in the box. This one appears to be the thinner one, which again, it seems to be a new trend in game publishers. GMT's having these, Compass is apparently having these. The World in Flames Collector's Edition used this sort of format, and I much prefer this. So this is, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the component quality of this one. I didn't think they were going to go to this level of production quality. And just to kind of check out the map here, you can see different areas of the map, fortresses. There are a lot of fortresses, so at this time period, fortresses were pretty important to the warfare being conducted at the time. And so a lot of the strategy in the system, if it's anything like No Peace Without Spain, is sort of hedging your bets and trying to figure out what's the best way to deal with sieges, what are the most economic sieges to complete, and when to abandon a siege for an operational army movement that's more critical. That's what I really like actually about the system, and I suspect that this game's going to fulfill that same feel, is that it's a strategic level game, I guess, but it's very operational feeling, and the decisions you're making are really all about that maneuver. Where do you want to put your armies? Where have you run out of gas and you need to sort of recover? And are you going to take the chance that the enemy is going to screw up a battle, and not reinforce that battle, and instead focus on some siege that if you take might open a back door into France or something? I really enjoy the system for what it's doing there. Again, not terribly, not a huge map. It's a standard map size, but the spaces that you're really going to be working in are going to be down in here and then kind of over through here. And with Prussia involved, this area will get used quite a bit. And Spain is just sort of, mostly off map there. You can see there's a couple of tracks, really straightforward stuff, nothing too complicated. And then there are some army holding boxes, and thank goodness they've got the terrain stacking chart right here. I think in No Peace Without Spain, the first edition, had the symbols, but didn't tell you what the stacking was, so you'd have to go look in the book, and it was kind of silly. Why couldn't they put that on the map? Thankfully, they did that here. So, all right. Well, I think that's a good enough quick unboxing video for this game. I am actually surprised and appreciative of the component quality here in the game. I'm very surprised. I was expecting, map sheet unmounted, which I'm completely fine with, by the way, but I was expecting map sheet. I was expecting the lower counter quality just because it's a cost measure. But apparently this game got enough confidence or support or whatever that they did a more a shinier production component quality on this, and I'm super stoked by that. Very happy. Okay, well, that's all for this video, guys. At some point, I'll look to play this. I'm not sure I can do it solo on camera. This is really a good game to play opposed because of the card mechanic and not knowing what your opponent has. A lot of CDGs are like that, where solitaire is kind of tough to do, but I can actually convince my wife to play this one with me because she's played No Peace Without Spain a couple of times with me. She's beaten me at No Peace Without Spain, so I think we'll be able to play this one at some point. And just as a general call out, so this is the War of Austrian Succession. There is another game that is going to be coming out for the War of Austrian Succession. This is being produced by GMT Games. It's called Clash of Sovereigns. It is sort of the little brother to this game, which is Clash of Monarchs. Now, Clash of Monarchs covers the 7 Years' War and is a big, scary, meaty CDG of epic proportions. Clash of Sovereigns is proclaiming to be a lighter game covering the War of Austrian Succession, but I don't know what that's going to look like yet. And this game, however, I know the system, and it's a pretty cool game. This is a really great, lightweight, two-player game, I bet. I'm going to call it ahead of time a little bit and say this is probably a really great two-player game. Clash of Sovereigns, which isn't out yet, is going to be a four-player game. Maybe it'll be better four-player. It's just going to be a different monster. No reason to hesitate on this game for sure. I think it's going to be worth taking a peek if you're interested. Really like I said, the previous two games in this series. This one looks to be right in there as a lot of fun. I look forward to trying it out. So, all right. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, hit like. If you would like to see more content like this, hit subscribe. I do unboxing videos, reviews, instructional videos for certain games, and also playthrough recordings of various stuff. Like I've got my Dark Valley game that is eternally going on because it takes a while to play for me, and I've got limited time. So, yeah. Alrighty. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and keep on gaming. We'll catch you later.